Hey everybody! So it's time for empties because I've accumulated enough trash to sort of want to get rid of it. That's how I go about it. I collect things until they start annoying me and then I do a video and let them out of my life. So let's start with some nail things. We'll progress to skincare and then makeup, which is the most exciting part, of course. So these things I've talked about previously. This is SC gel setter. I'm throwing this out because I finished the entire bottle. I did like this. I think it was a nice top coat. It worked very well. It was quite glossy. It's dried in average amount of time. It had ticked a lot of boxes for me. I think it's quite good. I still love my Sache Vide more, I think, but I'm in the process of trying another top coat from SC that I think does beat it. So I don't think I'll be repurchasing this particular one, although I do think it's very good, but the newer one from SC that I'll be talking about later is actually better, in my opinion. So that one goes to the garbage. Personnel is a Québécois brand. Nothing against the Québécois brand, but their polishes are really poor quality in my opinion. Very watery, really hard to apply, dries forever. Was really disappointed with their nail polishes. I had a few colors throughout the years. This one is the most recent one I got somewhere for free, and I just hated that one. It was bad. Personnel need to really step up their game when it comes to their nail polishes. So next one is a Ciate base coat. Ciate is a nail brand that I don't really love. I have to say I've had multiple polishes from them in the past, and every single one I've gotten rid of because I was kind of irritated by them. They didn't have really great payoff. It wasn't a cake to apply. It was you know, not the most unique colors. They do have a lot of different sets for nail art and various nail fancy wraps, whatever, what have you, for nails. I don't do that, so I can't really speak to that aspect of it. I did try this underwear base coat from them, and I found it to be so meh. I find that drugstore base coats work better for me than this Ciate one. I think it was just a waste of my time. I did use up most of it because I was really trying to give it a chance. It didn't really do much for my nails. It didn't really do much for my manicures either, so I'm happy to get this out. The last product that has to do with nails is this Expert Touch Lacquer Remover. It says Superior Performance. This is by OPI. I've bought this bottle previously. I've used a few of them because I tend to, if I like a product, I tend to stick with it. I would like a cheaper option, if you guys know of a cheaper option, maybe a drugstore option, something that can replace this one that is, you know, quick and easy and doesn't damage nails too much, but is very effective for polish removal. Advise me. I would love to hear what is available because I just haven't actually tried anything. I've tried a Zoya, which I really loved, and I tried the OPI, and I just alternated between them a few times. If I'm making an order from Nail Polish Canada or whatever, I'll just pick up a bottle of one of those two. Is there a better option that is available in drugstore that you know of? Let me know. Now on to skincare. So I've used up this Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Resist 24-hour Balancing Softener Enriched. This is just a toner. This is a gray toner. This is not my first bottle. I've repurchased this before. I think this toner is really nice basic toner. Workhorse. It'll work for you under any circumstances with any skincare regime. It works very well. I think it's quite universal. It's easy. It's very basic. It's really nice solid toner. I've used it before. Like I said, this was a smaller bottle that came in another set that I bought. I think it's fantastic. I would recommend you pick it up, and I might pick it up again. I'm really not very faithful in terms of toners. Some skincare I'm more particular about than other. Toners are not like, you know, a very important part of my skincare routine. I use them, but I'm not particularly fussed about which one. This one tends to be very good for me, but currently I'm using something else. I'm using this one currently. Shiseido, the Skincare Hydro Nourishing Softener. It's kind of like a jelly toner. I like it too. I think it works really well. I think Shiseido products are fantastic, and I really enjoy using them on my skin. This one was a win for me as well. Another must-have product is this Tony Moly Pure Eco Aloe Gel 92% that I finished almost completely. That's been there for way too long, so I'm not planning to use up the very, very last bit of it, but I've used an entire freaking jar. Also, I have to say that I don't really care where aloe gel comes from. I don't think it matters. You can buy it from any kind of source. I got mine from Tony Moly, but I don't always. I use different kinds of brands. As long as it's pretty pure aloe vera gel, there's not much else in it, over 90% aloe vera, I'm happy. I don't really mind. A lot of them are very, very basic anyway, and that's what I look for. I look for the basic. So this is a multitasking hydrating product for me. Aloe vera gel is extremely good for the skin, especially for dry skin. I use it sometimes as a toner. I use it as a treatment. I use it underneath my overnight moisturizer. It always boosts any skincare that I do. This is why I go through a lot of these, guys. So I really recommend, if you have any kind of skin, actually, it doesn't matter what type of skin you have, try aloe vera for your skincare as a sort of a step after a serum. It's really refreshing, it's nice, and also you can keep a big tab. And if in the summer you have a sunburn, guess what is perfect for a sunburn? Next we have this Kiehl's cream that my son lost the little jar cap to, but this is Kiehl's Panthenol Protein Moisturizing Face Cream, enriched with vitamin E and beta carotene for dry skin type. I have to say, I love Kiehl's skincare and I use a lot of it, and I've spoken about it previously, but this one is no bueno for me. I really didn't like it. This one kind of balled up on the skin, did not have a very nice texture. It sort of peeled off a little bit, flaked off, wouldn't play nice with any kind of makeup, so I had to use it overnight only, and it didn't do that much for my dry skin, although it is advertised as a product for dry skin. I was disappointed. I think it's subpar for Kiehl's quality. I wouldn't recommend you get this cream. I don't know about the rest of the line, but this particular cream I think is not worth it at all. I'm glad it's done. Next, I have one hair product. This is something I go through on a regular basis. I always repurchase it. This is my kind of holy grail product, and this is BB Thickening Dry Spun Finish Spray by Bumble and Bumble. This is really, really great. This is my favorite spray for hair. It's not a hold spray. Don't mistake it for your L-nets or whatever to fix your blowout or your hairstyle. This is not for that. This is to refresh your hairstyle. So say you've been wearing your hairstyle for a while, for a day or two, and it's looking a bit dowdy, and all you want to do is give it a bit of zhuzh up and a little bit of a boost. This is your guy. It doesn't last forever. It'll give you a few hours of better hair, basically. It gives it a bit of a textured look, but what it doesn't do is give it texture on the touch, which I really, really hate. I hate products that leave some kind of gritty texture in my hair. That's why I couldn't get on with the Batiste dry shampoo. This one does not do that at all. It's really great in that regard, which is really why I like it, because it doesn't give me the annoyance of untouchable hair. I already have a backup that I'm using currently. I love this. If there's anything in the market similar to this with a lower price tag, I would be interested to know. I have not found it, and I've scouted Sephora. Here comes the makeup. So my first one is kind of on a verge between skincare and makeup, and this is a primer from Too Faced. It's called Hangover X. This is claiming to be replenishing face primer with coconut water, electrolytes, and probiotics. I love this primer. I think it's fantastic. It glides onto the skin. It hydrates, plumps it up, works well with dry skin, smooths the dryness, smooths the roughness of the skin, but it does not play with the texture of your skin. So your skin, it's not one of those silicone smoothing primers. In fact, this one specifically states that it does not have any silicones in it. So the effect that it has is going to be definitely different from those silicone primers that we're so used to, you know, the smoothing, pore-free porcelain finish. This is not what this does. What this does is hydration, plump up, and a little bit of a sort of prep for the skin, but it does not do much for texture. It's more like a moisturizer in consistency and in fact in function as well. I will buy this again for sure. Currently I'm using something else I'll tell you about later, but definitely this one was a really worthwhile investment. I think it's worth the money. I think it works very well, especially for my dry skin. I'm not sure about other skin types, but I imagine that it's light enough that it'll work for every skin type, in my mind at least. Give it a try, give it a go, and see how it goes. I do recommend that you check this one out. I am throwing out this Chanel Illusion d'Ombre cream eyeshadow. This is in number 94, Rose de Vin. This has been a limited edition a couple of years back. I really love Chanel Illusion d'Ombres. I buy them all the time when they come out. I love this and the stick ones, you know, the ones in twist up sticks. I love those too, the cooling eyeshadows, and Illusion d'Ombres are also on my top shelf sort of list of products that I absolutely love using. This one is kind of pink, and you see that I used up a great majority of the product. However, I haven't had an Illusion d'Ombre dry up on me before. This is the first time this has happened, and I have to admit that in this collection that shadow was in different consistency. It's not the same as the usual whipped up sort of texture of Illusion d'Ombres. This one is really quite hard. It was always like that, and it dried out quite a lot. Now my normal Illusion d'Ombre, they don't dry out very easily. This one did. This one is at this point a crumbly mess, which I'm not willing to deal with. So this one goes. I don't really care to keep it any longer. I'm always curious about lash primers. I have my very firm favorite, which is the Dior Show lash primer. I love that one. I've repurchased it many times. I really love how it works. It does things long term for my lashes. It does make them better. It's a conditioning primer. I tried this Clinique lash building primer. I have to say, although it was nice and it did plump up the lashes before the mascara application, but it still does not measure up to my Dior Show. I think my Dior Show is better. And I saw actual results, my lashes being more conditioned with Dior Show. This one did not give me those long-term results that I'm looking for. Therefore, still, although that was not bad, still Dior Show is better in my opinion, and I really enjoyed using it. We'll see if I find anything comparable in the future, but Clinique was not it. Another Clinique mascara is this High Impact Waterproof. So I am having difficulty sort of judging this mascara and telling you about it because it was waterproof. Because in fact, I pretty much don't use waterproof mascaras. I really like the brush. The brush was good at separating and distributing the product throughout the lashes. However, I haven't worn it too much. It's dried out before I had my use of it, simply because I just cannot be bothered with having to get rid of the waterproof mascara and having like a normal makeup remover and then the waterproof makeup remover, and it's just too much work for me. Waterproof mascaras are difficult to remove. I prefer mascaras that stay well, they don't flake, they don't smudge, but they don't have to be waterproof for that. It's called a good mascara. A good mascara is not going to flake off on you. This one was pretty good. I liked how it looked, but by nature of it being waterproof, it wasn't my favorite. Not in any fault of Clinique's. And lastly, a mascara I cannot escape. This is this Dior Show one. I've had multiple samplers of this. I've never actually bought a full tube because somehow they just keeps raining Dior mascara on me. I'm not sure why, but I receive it all the time in terms of trial size products, probably because I do shop at Dior quite a bit, and always there is a mascara in my shopping bag. They put it in. So this one, I really like how it looks. It really does stay. It does not smudge. It does not flake. I love the formula. The formula is very good. The brush is really good as well, but it's huge. It like occupies my entire eye. It's really fat, big brush. So if you are a lover of big brushes, this might be something you could be interested in trying out. However, for me, I prefer smaller, slender, skinnier brushes. Brushes that are easy to manipulate. Brushes that are not going to print all over your top and bottom lash line. I like neater brushes. So the big brush here, I mean, I've gotten around it, I've used it, I've gotten used to it because I've just used this mascara, these samplers, for such a long time. But still, I find that it is a bit of a bother for me to use So I don't think I'll be purchasing the full one. However, I do think that the formula is good enough for me to say that if you do like big brushes, the big fat ones, if you like that, then check this out. This is really great. The formula is good. It's just I'm not the fan of such a brush. Doesn't mean that you won't be. I have an eyebrow product here as well. This is Dior Show Brow Styler. Again, like I said, I really enjoy a lot of Dior products. This one is in 001 Universal Brown. This is my color. I love this product. I think it has beat out Anastasia Beverly Hills for me, because I like the packaging better and I like the spoolie better, basically. Otherwise, these products are super compatible. They're really skinny tipped, very waxy consistency, hard to apply, but once it's there, it stays very precise. You can draw the hair like strokes in your eyebrows. I think this is great. And look at the cute little spoolie over here. I think the spoolie is genius. It works super, super well. It's sort of small enough to go into the brow, but also thick enough to still blend the pencil, but sparse enough at the same time to not blend away the color. It's really, really nicely constructed. Does not have a cap. It's a twist out. It does not dry at all. So, don't be afraid that it doesn't have a cap and then therefore it's going to go bad or it's going to dry out and fall out on you. No, I've had multiple ones of these. I keep buying them over and over again and never have I had a problem of it drying out. At first I was like, oh, they sold me a product without a cap, but no. It does not need a cap because it's so waxy. There's very little moisture there. It's almost all wax and pigment, and so it doesn't really dry out because there's no moisture to evaporate. Therefore, you don't run a risk of losing the cap or having a problem with that. It twists right in and there's no problem with that. It's fantastic design. I think they really did a good job, and I think it looks very cute. Much better than Anastasia for me. The packaging wins out. And the product is great. I really recommend you try that one if you're looking for a nice brow pencil. For an eyeliner, I have this Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in Lionfish. I've used up multiple eyeliners in different colors from Stila. This line of eyeliners I think is fantastic. Really actually very good and very good for the price. I think they're very comparable to the Urban Decay liners. I think they're very, very similar, but in fact, I do like these better because this is a twist out liner. You see, it's an automatic, therefore you don't need to sharpen. You can travel with it without a sharpener. It's not messy, it's really easy to use. The color range is really, really flattering. I think you can find any color you like, anything from bright all the way to black, and anything in between. Different textures, shimmers, mattes, whatever you want. And I think that the formula, they got just right. This is what I like in a pencil. I want it to be easy to use. I want it to be very creamy when it glides on, which this one is. And I want it to be smudgeable for a short amount of time for me to work with it in case I want a smoky. And, you have maybe 10 seconds to smudge it out. And then it completely sets to a budge-proof finish, and this is exactly what happens here. However, at the end of the day, when I'm taking my makeup off, this is not a pain in the butt to remove. It removes nicely, it stays all day, it doesn't smudge, doesn't flake off your eye, it stays nicely. The wing is there, at the end of the day. For me, I don't have particularly oily eyelids, so I really can't vouch for smudge proofness in terms of oily eyelids. I recommend you check out the Stila pencils. I think they're quite a nice buy. And lastly, I have this NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick, basically. It's supposed to be a matte lipstick, which it is. Now, the problem with it is I was testing a few products from the drugstore because I was curious about lip products at the drugstore. This one was one of them. At first, I wasn't really sure about it, so I needed to wear it in and really understand it. I was super iffy about the shade, and I came to the conclusion that the shade is unflattering on me, in my opinion. It is this nice purple, which I was after, but ended up a gray on my lips, meaning that The hue, the tone changes, it darkens up and grays out as it dries out. Very, very matte, but not super comfortable matte. It does flake off the center of your lips. It is long wearing, but it's not super comfortable. And in fact, after a few days of consecutive use, it does make your lips feel quite flaky, especially, you know, in colder weather and colder climate as I have. Outside of that window, it's really not something I'm willing to keep trying and keep playing with. Moreover, I can't sanitize it because it's in a tube with a doe foot applicator. This was money well wasted for me. I regret buying it. I think after continuously using it for a while, I think it's not a great product. It's drying. It doesn't wear off in a very flattering way. Moreover, the color is screwed up because it doesn't appear like you see it in the tube. It changes. So, you know, how am I supposed to know what it's going to look like if it's not going to look like this? Why am I buying it? I was quite disappointed. It kind of turns me off for now from trying some of the drugstore products for the lips, but I'll keep testing and experimenting every once in a while whenever the fancy strikes me. I have quite a nice collection of higher-end lipsticks I can show you sometime, but this was definitely a disappointment for me. I don't think that was a great product. NYX needs to work on it. That's it for my empties. I hope you had fun watching me throw things out. And the mini reviews can be helpful in case you're looking for the same things I'm looking for from products, or in case that I mentioned that I don't like something about a product that you are actually looking for. And that's it for today. Have a good day. Bye-bye.